playground experience. We have our own Hawaiian goddess, April Williams. Yeah, we have our
Hello.
own. We're gonna try because I see myself go just like this. I say wrong way. There, oh, I did the right way that time. There we go. April Williams, and then we have our own Kathy D in the house. She's kind of like this way today. All right, and she made sure she was right there, so she's on display for everybody. So is a good topic. We have the mission, the mission. So we're doing this. We're just talking before we got on air. Kathy D said that this is a good topic because it seemed like it needs to be kind of clarified amongst the twin flame um, community. We know everybody has their own. Did I put my light on? I did. You just reminded me. I was like, did I? Yeah, okay, I did. It's pretty much very much so important because everybody always pushing that, the mission, the mission, the mission. You guys look so, oh, thank you. You say we glowing. Oh my God, thank you. That's sanity. That's us. Playground. Come join us on the playground. You turn youthful too. Until a little 2-year-old now. Wait a second. We found the
I
final
know
youth.
we all seem to have an extra sheen.
Yeah, there we go, right there. We found it on the playground experience. We found it on the playground. That's it. So let's just get right on into it, ladies. Let's see, playmates.
Well, we can do that. We can segue with that. I mean, we got that glow. We got that divine mission shimmer. We got that divine mission,
Right, because this is part of our mission. Actually, we're
right?
talking about
It is.
keeping it real. So this is it. Our mission is to make sure that we keep the twin flame community informed about different topics and how our own viewpoints of it, all of us coming from a different way, how we all kind of intersect together or become parallel or even perpendicular. I teach that in class. So my thing, yeah, that's all that angles.
That's
Like
what I
that.
was thinking about my computer. I'm like, isn't it an angle?
Yeah, that's an angle, right. So it's an angle, just like what's your angle? What's your angle to this? So everybody's looking at a different scope or sequence of dimensions, just like diamonds. Everybody has different facets and how we're doing it, but it's all making up the totality of understanding what mission is. So I'm gonna start off with April. Let's start off with you. So tell us what's your definition of what mission is, and then we kind of go around.
I like playing the blow game. I was in theater and did a lot of like drama and singing and so on and
Oh,
so forth. Along with all my science stuff, I have these like layered,
tell
just
me
like
more.
just like crystals, just like we all come programmed with a mission, with a prayer, with an intention here when we come into this plane, and it's a matter of shifting through the societal seeming chaos and still maintaining ourselves, still maintaining our integrity. And that integrity is not so much a story you tell yourself, but it's what flows through you as your actual actions. And when you feel in flow and you feel good, that's when you know that you're linking on your divine mission. That's when you know you're linking on your highest self. So that
Mhm.
flow state of us just being this physical body become programmed, kind of like how water carries energy. We are bodies of water. We carry energy. We carry a mission. We carry a flow, and we group. So water is actually attracted to itself, right? So we come together in forms of groups, in forms of energies, in forms of soul families and soul tribes, and we enter into our mission together, and we help support each other to become that mission, and we become stronger in that mission.
Okay.
And
See, it's your turn. I'm throwing the ball to you.
Well, mission it's an interesting thing because it can turn into a career, but ultimately it is that it's a combination of passion and kind of like your calling. And when I say your calling, it's that feeling. I know for me, it was this deep pull. It was like I just had to do it. And a lot of times you'll find it links back to something from childhood. Um, but it's a pull, and it's an internal pull, not an external pull, not anything like that. So hold on, I heard myself, and for some reason I'm speaking on my phone. Um,
Steady
and
right.
So
versus
informative.
all over again. No, so
Talking an echo. I was a twin. But I am a twin. But anyway, it is a it has a feeling to it. There is you feel this purpose to it. It's not a money. That's the key. You would do it if you didn't make money. It's that important to you. It's one of those things people will call you for. You know, if you're a great accountant or you give great advice or you're, stuff like that, it's what people call you for. And it's not a money-making thing. Yes, it can become your livelihood. And I think it stays your mission as your livelihood when you steward that money properly. But that's a whole nother part of mission. But it's that one thing that you would do even if you didn't get paid. That's the way I see it, and it feels.
okay, so for me, mission is really like your bliss center. And it's really where everything else is like they showing me like a hub where everything else kind of flows from that point on. I agree with like April, what she had stated earlier about the mission and how when you're on mission, different people come and kind of help you along the way to show you what your mission is. What is this? Get off of here. And so um, that mission can encompass a lot of things. Once you kind of okay, got a divine on my end thing it beeped for me, confirmation. It can turn a lot of things. I always like how Kathy says, must remember that whatever my mission is not the same for April. April's mission is not the same as mine. Everyone has a different skill set and ability that you bring. I love how Kathy D said also, it might have been put in you innately, not might, from childhood. And that kind of brings you back to, again, not overplaying the subject or the title of our thing, which is the playground. What really truly gives you that playground experience for you to do that mission all over again and not even to get paid for it, because it truly is your bliss with that. And so the next thing with that, what pops in my mind is, so some of them say, what's the difference between mission and purpose then? Because a lot of times people kind of bring in and they say, okay, I may have my mission, but hey, what's my purpose? So are there parallel with each other, or are they intersecting? I'm going back to angles. I guess the spirit just really want me to go back to that. Parallel, intersected, or perpendicular? I mean, how does it go as far as when we talk about mission and purpose? Are those separate or are they actually synonymous? April?
I would say that it's multi-layered, right?
Okay.
Because I was always told, everybody always wants to be the Jesus. Everybody always wants to be the Cleopatra. I was reincarnated as a version of Cleopatra. It's like, nobody wants to be a handmaiden. Nobody wants to, you know what I mean? But in reality, sometimes our purpose in intersection with another person is to help catalyst them, maybe even birth a child, maybe even birth a concept, or an idea or something that sets forth a chain reaction. That could be part of a purpose. Purpose can also come from internal, give you drive, give you a set of focus. But it's about the motivation behind that purpose, whether it's sustainable as your mission. Okay? Because mission itself is multifaceted, right? You could be, now we're all got to do our essential shopping. We're on a mission to get XYZ, right? And if you don't find it, then you're like, oh man, I got to figure out another place I can get it, but when you're in a divine sense, you're in love with the source within you that finds the passion. When we're kids, we get happy, we get excited, we get all focused, we get encompassed in what we're doing. We fall in love with that moment, with the experience, with the feeling. And that's ultimately how you know that you are on mission, or if you're on, well, purpose could, like I said, there's no connotation, positive or negative, in terms of a purpose. I'm fleshing that definition out. Excuse me. It's not really fully solid because it is like a particle, like a. If you scientific studies, they studied waves of light, and light can be measured as a wave and a particle. And it's a wave in the sense that it actually can show up in the experiment anywhere as an answer. But if you're watching it, it goes in a specific type of direction, the same way as if you're watching employees or if you're just expecting them to do well. When you actually just expect them to do well, they have higher productivity than when you're watching them and micromanaging or even perceived watching them. They perform because they feel under pressure. They feel under some kind of scope that they underproduce and they're overcompensating or undercompensate. You know, there's a very fine dance with it. So when you're looking towards creating your mission or creating your purpose, you don't want to stare at it so hard that you can't see what's right in front of your face, and you're actually in the flow of that mission, in the flow of divine mission versus it's got to be here, right? I mean, unless you are blessed enough to have that kind of foresight and insight for yourself, usually evolves for some people. It comes out, but it's in the form of your childhood joy or your childhood pleasure.
Okay. Kathy, did you want to add on to that?
Well, I think purpose and mission, I loved what April said about that, you know, because it is multi-layered, because we are multi-layered, you know, on one layer, you're a life coach. I'm a life coach. And on another layer, I'm a mother. And on another layer, I'm a teacher. And so, you know, there's all those different layers that my purpose for my girls isn't the same purpose as for my clients or for my students. So, yeah, I like that because I think there are times that they all mesh together, but then I think they're all different faceted too. I think purpose too is just kind of maybe not as controllable as mission. Because like April said, if you're to be a catalyst for someone, you don't go into a relationship going, I'm going to be your catalyst. I mean, unless you have that foresight. Mm-hmm. And it just happens. So purpose a lot of times is kind of, I think, maybe divine led. And then mission is kind of where we kind of take it and they kind of merge it together.
Okay.
We're all kind of also putting in a free will concept.
Right.
That's what it sounds like in both of our definitions.
Mm-hmm.
But what about your definition?
Right now, I'm going to be honest with you. I am in awe of Kathy D. I see today, I'm channeling for her today. She's opening up. I can feel it when they're throwing it and they're channeling it, just dropping it right on down to her. So I'm sorry, I got in awe because I felt it when they channeled, they just sent it straight through. And she's always, I had to shine on her because I'm like, she's always saying, I don't have it, but I just felt it when they just dropped it in her right then and there. They was like, here it is. You over here. But they just wherever they felt it and they dropped it right into her. Well, this is a 444, and we were having this debate even before we got on here. What was the difference between the portals and the moon? And it's interesting that now we're even hosting this on the Earth Day, which I was saying like it is again being Earth Day, which means to me being present on Earth. And then it's a portal also opening up and getting a channeling for the information and the downloads, this new things that you're tapping in energetically into the universe. And this is interesting. We're hosting this topic on this day because this is a perfect time. We got the new moon with the Taurus, which is for us to really be intentional with our purpose as far as what are we setting out there. So when we're talking about the mission and the purpose thing, you know, it's like your purpose is like your why, you know, like, why am I doing this? Your mission is what you're actually doing, but your purpose is also is like your why, that the universe, back to divine source, what Kathy said, has brought to you. It's like, this is your why. This is your objective for why you're doing these things. And then when you're talking about your mission, it's just also enacting off of that why. And that's what they're bringing to me when she had said that. And they bring it to me as well. So, you know, where we're getting off on in this twin flame journey is that we're saying mission, 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 but we're making it so much like it's a job.
Right.
And we're forgetting about the joy and the bliss that we're all talking about collectively about it. It's again bringing that lightness to it. The understanding that they didn't give you a mission that it seems like it's going to be something hard or it's martyrship that's going to be into it, but it's just like it's something that you are only prepared to do in your own unique way, your own unique style that you do. And that is what's their purpose, that they're bringing it through you as an instrument for you to be able to go out there and to actually put out the plan that the source or the powers that be has also implanted in you to move on from that point. And so that is what we are really coming on here to understand about the mission and how that brings in the twin flame journey and how that balance that all in there together. And I think we've forgotten about that because you hear him say mission. And I think about Twin Flame All Stars. I'm always picking on him. And he's like, it ain't about no mission. It's just about source, getting in touch with your own self and your soul, And my thing is that, can't getting in touch with your soul also be mission?
I think that's the whole part of it. Because you're finding out who you are.
I'm just.
I definitely can see that mission. We're trying too hard to define something in an old paradigm way of thinking.
There you go.
Working our way out of a patriarchal system into something that is more balanced. Because the rise of the divine feminine is not woman eats man, and patriarchy isn't technically man eats woman. It's we protect and provide and grow together as a family, as a community. So when we become obsessed with defining something or reaching this end destination, we are not hunters out there trying to get the mastodon and survive. Okay, we are all well supported in an earth that clearly has the ability for us to function in a way where we can all have everything that we are providing, that we need to survive, so we can actually evolve as an artistic, musical, creative, technological society. Like it's a point where we now are being forced into using our technologies, but we also get to be looking at where we're really deficient. We still have slums on this planet. We still have people who don't have water. And, education is really relative to the experience of the individual and where they are. There's certain things you do need to know about being clean as a basis for us just being able to function. But I don't think we need to have starving people, right? Like, I don't think that's a thing that we need overall. I know that we can have enough resources because, our grocery stores were very, very ample. They were it's just now, how are we actually allocating resources? Oh, we forgot to be growing vegetables here, but we just put up huge amounts of communities. That's not going to work. And so we're flushing all this stuff out right now. So clarifying a mission, it's very malleable to what brings you passion, what brings you that joy, that back to love, right? Back to our ultimate core of the mother, of the being, of the creation of our earth planet, right? We are the physical manifestations of earth, and we have this ability to communicate with each other and work on a soul-based level, like we're bringing it back into soul. But we've been programmed where we are no longer, some of us can't really see it, right? We can't really feel it. So what language, what way will allow this person to enter into their body? What will allow them to realize that there's more than just this physical energy? There's more than just this financial energy. We are all on mission to awaken as a human species.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then beyond that, because we're together, we're allowed to come together at this time in this format. We can reach so many thousands or millions of people just with this vibration or this set of consciousness. And it goes so far as to say, if we allow ourselves to fully manifest as a human template, and with twin flames holding the torches and grounding in this space, we're allowed to then hyper jump where we can then interact with other, because there's more than just humanity. For us to assume that human species is the only species that exists in all of the universes and dimensions, like, we get to explore, and that's what kids are. That's what they do. They get to create. They came just straight from the cosmos through their motherships to be here to enjoy this planet. So I don't know, I kind of got off the rails here in terms of divine mission. But what brings you back to that childlike sense of wonder and joy when you were your purest sense? You know what? And that's okay. If there was some trauma and stuff there to release, you get to do that for yourself so you can enjoy now, right? Because that is no longer here. Here is here.
Right.
It's here if you bring it in, right? So that's what the playground experience is about, is bringing us back to our bodies, bringing us back to joy, bringing us back to freedom and non-judgment and just experience. And the fact that some of us want attention.
Okay. Yeah. She brought up some good things in the statement, understanding that just us existing and understanding to live in the now is what brings us into understand how important our purpose. So if we're living in the now, that helps us to kind of anchor into our purpose and our mission. She stated something about poor, and I don't know why that came to me about this, saying that I think about the greatest book that was written, or what they were saying, the poor you will have with us always. Jesus Christ has stated that. And you know how this is an earth planet, and this is a teachable planet. So that kind of state of unbalance you're going to have with you always in some ways, because it's something that you can learn from that, from somebody seeing somebody that's out there on the street at the same time. That helps them to understand, maybe that might be somebody's mission and purpose, to develop something to help them to get off where they are. So that's another way of looking at that. I'm trying to see also, we said the mission and the purpose. So now how does that dovetail as far as us in this twin flame journey? So we understand a lot of times they're telling us, and we want you to really make sure that you walk away to understanding that you come first. Because I was watching, I think, Light Worker, the Mr. Light Worker, and he was talking about that the divine feminines have it bad, that we keep looking at the divine masculine as the answer. And okay, good. Looking at the divine masculine.
Not our conversation.
Right. And for the answer, that's true. And so he said we're not trying to come up with the answers ourselves to that. So cognitively, I'm gonna ask you, Kathy, you know, what things can you do to help yourself to kind of like get yourself on mission and purpose? Is some kind of mindset or some kind of way that you can kind of get yourself ready for that?
Yeah, there's a couple things you can, of course, you know, when you're doing your inner child work and stuff, think back to, you know, what brought you joy. Okay. And, you know, where does that come from? But there's one thing that really needs to, and I noticed this when I first started this journey and everybody's talking about mission. Please understand what we're saying. You do not have to be a life coach. You don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to be a psychiatrist. You don't have to be able to read cards or anything like that to find your mission. Understand that if you can grow beautiful plants and teach other people to do that, that goes with what April said, you know, that solves that problem of people being hungry. If you can, you know, if you're a cosmetologist, you're helping somebody with their inner beauty. You're laughing at me. With their inner beauty. So please don't look at your mission like, well, because I can't do what these ladies do, I'm not finding mission. That's not it. You'll know it. There's a calling. And when it comes to that, and I have found, and you guys kind of tell me if you felt the same way, when I am fully focused in on mission, the DM naturally just kind of goes on his own way. He's not a focus anymore. And I don't get caught up. This is another place we don't want to get caught up on.
I felt a butt pucker when you said DM goes away. What they mean is he's not
focused. Yeah, he's not my main focus. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not worried about what he's not forefront in the mind. But it's, you can't worry about when they say a lot of times twin flames were supposed to come into mission together. Please don't look at your DM and say he's this or he's that. He could never do this with me.
I'm the leader. Do what I want.
But you never know where that support could come. I mean, you could be an amazing cosmetologist, and maybe he's the one that is the support in the background. It's different things. Or maybe he's amazing at something, and you're the support at the background. It will work together. You have to understand it's a protected union. We are divinely brought back together. By no means are the powers that be going to go, okay, here you two go, now figure it out. It's all going to work together. It's just one less thing you have to worry about. So please don't base your mission on what you feel your DM's qualifications are, because remember, they're coming back totally different than the last time. And if you haven't met them yet, they're going to be, whole and ready to go. We're getting, the 2.0 version of the one we already had. Mm-hmm. So remember, they're coming back completely different. Don't put expectations in that. That goes back to the whole twin flame thing. Don't put expectations on that. This mission is for you, and your why needs to be bigger than your fear. And the minute it is that you have that pull, that desire to do it, and your why is bigger than your fear, you can do anything. And that's kind of how it fits with the twin flames.
I really like that that analogy, and there's a part of us all that wants to have a definition for, this is my mission, this is my purpose, this is his mission, this is his purpose, and we don't get to play that game anymore. As the forefront, as leaders, you do what is necessary for yourself and for the people. And as a twin flame, one of the major missing parts of the dynamic is self-care, is self-focus. We want to spend a lot of our time as women, because we are, primarily female energy is a vessel, is a chalice, is a carrier. So we think if we just fill our cup with this other thing, this other person, this other energy, then it will be satisfied. But it's not true. Until our cup runneth over ourselves, do we fully understand what it means to be in mission. Because we may have children, they may take a lot of focus and energy, but that doesn't mean that my child is my only reason for being. My DM is not my only reason for being. I'm my reason for being. I'm here. Right? And when we come together, we do make that third energy, and it's magical, mystical mystery tour, but it's also, when the time is right for that. So if you're still in a state of, where is he? What's my mission? Relax. Deep breath, flow. So we can actually reach our purpose. We can reach joy. Because if you're all tense and you're holding your breath and you're just harboring anxiety, Jupiter 1111 said something in the chat. She said, some people don't want to work to move from their dynamic of poverty, no matter how it manifests in the 3D. And I thought that was really powerful, because we do have all these templates of lack mentality. So if you think that you are in a state of lack, you are. And you create it in whatever sense you want to create it. Be that, I don't have the time or the attention from the DM, I don't have enough financial, these are all stories we repeat and tell ourselves, but we are creating them now. So if you work towards, this is good, this is easy for me, I understand this concept, I know that the universe has and supports me, right? Just by being able to get to this point of this video with us having this conversation, you are opening up your consciousness to be able to accept certain types of material. But at the same time, we get to also say, I'm using my discernment. I know my values. And if they say something that crosses that line, not the part where you're self-sabotaging yourself, but when you're self-aware enough that you can accept and say, I'm ready to move forward. I know we can have this conversation. I know I can have this conversation with myself. I know I am worthy of my own focus and attention. Because there are some people that are wrapped up in DM situations that's not their DM. They're in a cycle of abuse because they're telling themselves another story, right? So you feel good when you are on mission. You feel good when you are reading, meeting, reaching goals. Thinking in slashes, meeting/reaching goals. So thank yourself. Start with the self-love. Start with the self and watch what happens. We did an experiment, right? Didn't we do an experiment? No, it wasn't an experiment. It was the divine self-love, shielding, worshiping kind of concept with the simple skincare.
Okay, so, yeah. You say put the lotion on and you do your stuff with lotion that you love and you protect. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah. It was a really cool, like, so you're just putting positive intention into the products and you're taking the care to love yourself. You're going to put on moisturizer anyway, at least you should be, because your skin is an organ. You got to care for your temple. Just saying. All right. Some of us is actually, we don't even know. I'm just kidding. Got to get that glow. Got to get that divine glow. Divine mission glow. Anyway, okay. So I'll stop playing around for 5 seconds and tell you what it was. So when we apply the moisturizer, we say things like, you are loved, you're protected, you're guided, you are strong, you are worthy.
Mm-hmm.
And just these simple little things. Just start with one phrase. I am loved, I'm loved, I'm loved. Okay. I'm worthy, I'm worthy. It's just something like that. And watch how the alchemical changes around you. Your aura changes, your energy shifts, and things start responding to you differently. Now, it could go one of two ways. I'm sure there's multiple ways. I'm just giving 2 examples. One, you could have the awesome, what happened to her. Or you can have things pop out that trigger you because you really got to release them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, that's just a little bit of a tool to use, but let's keep
yeah. Because I've used that as well. I've thought about also what you were talking about with the mission and stuff. I know sometimes when I hit those separation things or the DM kind of goes back and retreat and goes back into his situation, the karmic situation, or the third party thing, I just go on ahead and get more deeper into the into my mission, into my purpose. You see, I start coming up with creative like ideas of things. What else can I bring to the channel? What other things can I do? And I just get more deeper into it. Say, okay, that keeps me occupied. So you keep on doing what you're doing. So again, you'll find yourself kind of also being thrown into your mission and your purpose more. I kind of hear, and I still hear somebody saying, but is there anything that you can do to kind of maybe still, I know you say it's not concrete, but again, is there still something you can do about mission and purpose that you can kind of know if that's your mission? Is there something you can still, somebody wants to know concrete. It's like, that's nice and dandy, but still, what's the mission? How can I identify that?
Yes, there is actually. And it goes back to I'm trying to pull it up. It goes back to my whole thing with always talking about journaling. There is a series of questions you can ask yourself. Let me find them. And it kind of helps guide you to your mission or a better understanding of yourself.
Okay.
And it's actually, there's a couple of them. There's one, it's finding my life purpose. And these were just on Pinterest, but I really liked the questions. And some of them are, what motivates me to get up in the morning? What keeps me up at night? What do I do best? What do I want to do? What do I admire? And whom do I admire? When am I happiest? How can I be happier? What are my dreams and how are they achievable? What steps do I need to take? And then that's the first section. And the second one is what's your options? And it goes through some questions. And then the third one is how can you improve yourself? And it gives you kind of a clear-cut idea of at least the area you're moving into.
Okay.
And then there's one also that they do that I saw that I like too. And it's my mission, celebrating life and love. And it's like one of those Mad Lib things that we did as kids where you fill in the word. But these are intentional words and you're filling them in as they go. But it starts, I believe in living a blank, blank, and blank life. The road may be blank and future blank, but I will not sit by blank. And you fill those in. So it's almost like making your mission statements. If you're familiar with for a business or like an organization, it's a mission statement. But those kind of things and filling those words in, and you can do it hundreds of times until you start getting those constant things. Also, journaling, going back and just asking yourself just those simple questions. What makes me happy? When am I the happiest? And those kind of things. So those are some really clear-cut ways. And there's some other things that actually I can, put up or somehow, I guess put them on my website.
Put it on your website or put it on, put it on your website.
And well, I'll link those on and then you guys can see it. There's different ways.
Bottom of this when I release it and put them there. So everybody can get that. Vanessa Fields brings up a very good point. She says, I think your purpose comes along with your union. And it does. I think even with these times that we're having now, this is why the world is stopped, because it's like some of us thought we were on mission and purpose. And it's like my famous quote I always say when I'm doing readings, you're going, it's the fork in the road, which that's when you hear me say fork in the road. That's me telling myself that the spirit said you're going down the wrong way. Back it up and go down the right way, because you went to the left and we really wanted you going to the right when you said what you said. Or sometimes it means it's multi-layers. And a lot of times now with what's going on, this inner journey that this isolation period has brought on us has now got us to the point that we're taking this inner journey. And now you got these portals. Now you got these portals that are going on. Like I said today, these downloads is really going to get you in line with today. They're bringing you for you to get in line with what you actually need to do, what things fit and what things don't fit. Especially like I said in the 411 event thing, I did my thing of saying about we're getting into May. So April here that you had here was a part of you preparing and getting stuff together. May now is the time in which we are going to actually start doing dress rehearsal. So now whatever you've been trying to get together in April, now we're going to move on into us actually applying what we actually learned in May. That's why I told you all about the intentions. The intentions are very important as far as what you're putting out there. So on this mission, this living, they keep on bringing the buzzword integrity. How are we living honestly? So you be honest with yourself. Do you like the job you're on? Maybe why you're not on your job now doing this isolation point is because you're not really liking the job. Okay, or it's giving you time to think about, you know what, as I'm teaching these kids on remote learning, you know what, I ain't loving it too much. So now I'm thinking about maybe I need to, I'm just saying that in general. I didn't say it about the kids. But my thing, you might be saying, or whatever job that you're in now, and now while you pulled away, it gives you more introspection and saying, is this really my mission and purpose? I looked at, while Kathy Lee was talking, I thought about something that Jupiter 1111 had did a long time ago. Not long, she did it about 10 years back. No, that's not true. She did it a while back. That was and I'll post it on the community tab, which was it's like a Venn diagram that helped you to know about mission. I guess she was sending it to me. It's like, I got something a little kind of simpler for them to kind of look at it. And so this thing was talking about mission. And if you're looking for your mission, it has on this Venn diagram what you love and what the world needs together, brings together of understanding what's your mission. So if that kind of helps you to kind of bring those two ideas together, it's like, think about your bliss and what the world needs. If you think it on a more of an outside global thing. So I'm looking at it as almost like they're showing me it's almost like waves. So you're thinking about your mission for yourself, because again, April brought that to us, to saying stop thinking about everybody else, because divine feminine is always giving. We're always thinking about others, what you want, whatever you like, whatever you need, and then we forget about what's going on with us. So another way of looking at it is that think about mission. To me, they bring it to me in phases. Like get the mission together with self first, because just like they said, you can't help anybody else. Just like you're on the airplane, I always think about flying. You know, you got to put your mask on first before you can help anybody else. So get your mission and stuff together first, right? Because sometimes they're bringing this to me. You're thinking about the outside. That could be a distraction for you not to get your stuff right. So get your mission and purpose together first. Okay, about mission. Maybe come up with a mission statement. I know, like when I was taking school for leadership class, and they told us, you know, you got to have a vision statement and a mission statement. Come up with a vision statement and a mission statement for yourself. Okay, now let's expand it. What's the mission statement and the vision statement you have for the world? And don't forget, just like I did the meditation earlier, what's your mission statement and your vision statement for your union with your divine masculine on outside? Because again, some of us, if you're honest with yourself and you actually do want that union with your divine masculine, and this is still in there because this is all in your mission, this is all who you are, your totality, you need to be able to see where do you want to actually, when you get in this relationship, where is it that you want to go? Maybe there is also submission, some things that you see that you can be able to help your divine masculine or your divine feminine in. So you've got to take it in different phases. So the spirit is bringing to me again your mission statement and your vision statement for yourself, your vision statement and your vision statement for the world, and your mission statement and your vision statement for your divine counterpart. How
really
you put those things together? Huh?
I really like that, the mission statement for the world too, because most of us don't get beyond, or a lot of us, we lack the full focus to get from ourselves. Well, it's hard to look at ourselves a lot because there's so many things that need to be taken and restructured and reformed, and we form an identity based on a storyline instead of being in the present moment and knowing that it's all possible at once. It's all possible to change. Now, I wanted to say something about how, well, you know, it was coming through like, take your time, do what you need to do to explore. Well, guess what? All of us have been given a lot more time. And the whole universe is working in our favor for us at this time to look at ourselves, to look at our world. And so I love that you put in, what is your mission statement for the world? Because that's a big deal. We're creating a society that's not just on ourselves. It's on all of us. It's for our children. It's for our children's children. One of the Native American teachings is, when we think about this in terms of the next 7 generations, yeah, and what's the world that they're living in and they're working with, and it's all based on what we decide now, right? We're looking at the ramifications of the Industrial Revolution without the thinking of balancing with nature and what nature actually needs. You know, that was, 100 years ago we had, what did we have? It was close to the stock market crash. It was close to a lot of things changing. Just introduced radio waves, that kind of stuff. So all of our bodies, all of our frequencies are changing extremely quickly. What do you want to create? Start with your thoughts, right? And Kathy B's got a lot of great recommendations. You don't touch it. It's a light. Don't touch the light, baby. I know it's a light world, but
No.
Okay, back to the collective.
Yeah, she brought up something and it came to me with the light worker and understanding that, oh, got it. Light worker. Remember also we talked about the twin flames and what's your mission. Some of us also are here to change our family lineage or the bloodlines as well. So some of us, our mission is to create that new dynamic for our family. So that also is another layer of the twin flame too, is what is your mission? Because your mission is here for something. I always tease and say, like, I'm like my dad 2.0 or my parents 2.0. And to create a new dynamic as far as what it is, as far as in a relationship, to change that. I've also talked about how I changed education for my family, being the first one, and then it tripled and rippled effect from that point on. First one to be in the organization or in a kind of a Greek organization, and from that point on, everybody started becoming part Greek from that point. So my thing is that sometimes that's also another dynamic of mission, and that goes back to what April said. It's all different types of, see over here, it's all different types of layers. So when you're talking about mission, I felt somebody else like, well, they ain't really answering the question. Well, again, that goes back to that what you said, that scientific shape that it is. It's just the same thing like the purpose. It's like it,
The caduceus.
the what, the trope.
The caduceus, they have it for medical. It's the same thing as the kundalini representation, and it has to do with the balance of the masculine and the feminine within the one unit for the power of knowledge. And so that's how we truly get our knowledge, right? And it comes from our base to our crown. And then we also get that energy from our crown straight through our base. So there's a balancing between the heavens and the earth in terms of the dynamics. It also mirrors and mimics what DNA looks like, right? What we focus on. There's something within genetics when it has to do with gene expression, and genes that are easily expressed are open, so they're more frequently utilized, right? So if you're stressed out more, you're producing more cortisol, right? So that space where that hormone is produced within the structure of the DNA is more open. So if you're working towards shifting the paradigm of your life, you need to really work on repeating thoughts, repeating energy, and it starts to then shift and work its way down to a minuscule level. On a DNA level, you're starting to help heal that. And so you're working through healing yourself, which heals both ways in terms of generational gaps. Like I know that Kathy D was saying something about healing with family, right? Were you telling me something about that? So there's a lot that can be done.
Okay. Yeah, Kathy. So what were you talking about, the family thing?
We were in a discussion today. We were talking about the moon and the portals and that kind of stuff. And she was telling me about a movie that I needed to watch with my girls. And she's from scientists and, but they're all male. And she said, you'll probably get more from them. And I always learned better from men teachers. And then looking back at my family, that would be to replace like the strong male role models, that kind of stuff that I kind of missed out on. But but one thing I want to add is, yes, we're definitely breaking those paradigms right now with mission, because you have different, like we talked about at the beginning, there are different levels. You're a mother, you're this, you're that, you're all these things. But there's one thing that we're going to be in mission on, that all of us are going to be on mission on together. And that's for the next wave of twin flames.
Good point.
We're going through this to teach the next generation. And if you have kids that are starting their, spidey senses are tingling, and they're starting to pick up on this much sooner than maybe some of us did, or because it isn't tamped down. And as parents, we're letting them express it. What are you seeing? What are you feeling? Tell me. And encouraging this. But we have to lead for the next wave of twin flames. And truly that's our second mission. So really, when talking about mission, we have a twofold mission. We have our own personal mission as our soul mission. And then we have that second mission, which is to be the example for the next wave of twin flames as they come in. And I think a lot of times people get that confused, and I'll sound like you guys now. It just came to me. That's the mission the DM is to be involved in. They have their own soul mission, and yes, sometimes they can work together and sometimes it might not, but the support would still be there for each other. But our main mission together as a DM and a DF, to be support for that next wave, to be an example for that next wave, keeping the next group from having to go through long extended periods of separation or things, by teaching them how to release, breathe. It's okay. Understand you're going to be together. This isn't anything to worry about. You know, you've got to just go on with you. Take care of you, and he'll come running. And I think that that's a main part of mission that kind of gets missed when understanding that, you know, we were all here for the next wave of twin flames, like the previous twin flames were for us.
It's kind of like there's a couple of things that came through with that is we are the bows and our children are the arrows, and we and you do as like teachers, like you guys are helping mold and shape and shoot that arrow as well. So it's like you guys are on all kinds of really cool, interesting access to that next generation, right? And it's a lifestyle change. We're all having a serious lifestyle change to work for the collective. All of us to be on that purpose. And I think that when you're in your joy, when you're on mission in your purpose, your other is super attracted to you. And they can't, it's like two magnets that are in the right polarity in the right time, and their energy is so strong that they can just come in and connect. When you're wavering off, am I doing what other people want me to do versus doing what I want to do in terms of finding your passion, you start flipping your polarity, your energy flips, you become quite triggering, you know? And so you can't sustain your relationship. So even if you're in a relationship and you think this person is your twin, but you're not happy, you're not in your twin relationship. Or it's not in a sustainable space. When you can find that happiness from within, and you know healthy boundaries, and you know that everything else starts to click into place. And yes, it might be something that you're willing to do even if you didn't get paid for it, but it also still needs to bring you joy. It shouldn't be, I would still be a doctor even if I didn't get paid for it because I'm helping people, but what really brings me happiness is playing the tuba. Well, guess what? It turns out you're going to probably inspire more people and connect with more people in the proper energy playing the tuba than you are going out and being a doctor and, being having that harsh energy around people, right? Because they're going to carry that now with that negative energy towards all of the medical profession instead of that kindness where you guys, have you ever had a nurse or someone that just cared for you with so much love and so much kindness and so much empathy, and they were there for you, and you're like, thank God that, thank God that you are just here with me now. That is what you want, to be able to find that connection with what that you're doing. It doesn't have to be, it is, it flows.
Let me put a pin on this because Jupiter is tapping into me, and I heard you. I'm going to show you that I heard you. Let's not even get faulted understanding that when we have these gifts, that we should not stop clapping. I heard you, and I'm jump fast forward. I hear you. That you don't think that you're not supposed to get paid back in return. So, that's how we kind of get into this fog. Like, oh, okay, well, I'm a reader and I'm putting all this good vibe out there. And at the same time, while you're doing those energies or whatever those missions is, two things that the spirit is bringing to me, and I got her too in my ear. One thing is that, when you do in mission and you're hitting right in that vein that spirit or source has put in, they're going to bring you your resources back. You're going to get them finances and the abundance back. But at the same time, you on the outside of receiving these gifts from these other people, they need to have that energy coming back. Rather is like what she's saying, that compliment that you're giving that nurse to say, oh my God, thank God you cared for me. What's your name? Let me at least give a letter to your boss. Let them know how you cared for me in the hospital. I think about that with my dad. And, some kind of way, it's an energy exchange there too. So, you should get that kind of return, and you should not feel bad, even if you're on your mission and purpose, doing that for wanting that kind of energy to come back and return in some kind of fold. It kind of gives you motivation to know, hey, I'm on the right path. I'm doing what I'm supposed to divinely be guided to do too as well. So I don't want anybody to get stuck in that vein and say, well, I'm just supposed to be doing that almost like back in the day when they had when you was a priest or something and you did all that charity work. Then you kind of going into other kind of vows. I'm getting deep, but anyway, and you tapping into maybe that past life that you say, well, I used to do it and I didn't get paid for it, so that's what I'm supposed to do in my spiritual gifts. No, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. So kind of watch that
And
too.
that's why I want to put this out there. It just occurred, whatever.
Right.
There's no more sacrifice. There's no more sacrifice. And that's what the balance of the divine feminine. When Jesus came in, he came in hard and fast in a time that was not exactly prepared for him in an area. Right. And they took him out for his belief systems. That's you're no longer going to be taken out for your belief systems. You will find the right crew that's supposed to be for you, because we all have these connections. Right. And there's no reason for any of us to not have the boundary of, I need to also be provided for. Energy exchange is important. People can't just take from you. You can give what you want to give, but at a certain point you draw a line and you master that root chakra and deal with that exchange, because finances is part of our interaction in our reality at this time, right? It may shift into something else, but it's important that you do have the value of yourself, and that shows. It can show through monetary.
Right, and that's where it comes to what I say about that mission statement that you having for yourself again, the mission and vision for yourself, mission and vision for the world, mission and vision for your DM or your divine counterpart. You got to have that, and that goes along with you saying no more sacrifice. And I've seen that. That's kind of what we're going through. I think this Taurus moon is supposed to bring that on too strong. No more sacrificing stuff. That stuff is out. And you have to remember again, also as a light worker, your main thing is to understand that you're here to change other people's minds, not for them to change yours. Right. I had to learn that. I had to learn that. And once I start doing it in powers, like, as long as you're standing in truth and you're not trying to play Jedi mind tricks with nobody, and you're not trying to manipulate folks. You understand that hey, I'm saying this for your good. I want you to elevate. I want you to ascend. And I'm speaking from that truth, from my experience. Then as a light worker, that is your mission. That is part of your mission too, to stand there in your truth and to tell someone else about things that maybe you can help them. This is what I did. I say I was going through this. I shine the light on myself, and so now I'm giving you this light so you can maybe shine a light on yourself, and then in turn shine it on the next person. That's that paying it forward, that shining that light, and that's how the world becomes much brighter from us passing on that light to each other. But that's another thing too, understanding our mission is not for them to change our minds. We're here to change other people. So we already come in unique, and that's half of the divine masculines issue too as well, because they come in so very unique, so different from the people around him, and he's not thinking, instead of him changing his environment, he conforms to his environment, and it should be the opposite, the other way around. That's why you got this charm and this glow, and when they see you, you walk in the room, it's like, wow, look at this specimen right here, and you supposed to be changing their mind, not like, okay, well now let me just kind of stem my light and kind of dim it down, and now I can match up with the rest of them. And that's a lot of some of the struggle that the divine masculine get while they're on their mission, is saying, I just want to be like my friends. I want to be with the rest of the other people. And that causes a kind of a problem. Not kind of, it starts a problem. I'm trying to be nice, but it starts a problem for them, from them living their life from a place of true integrity, and for them to be able to get on their mission. I think you brought that to me, April, one time, was that Sean? I can't remember. They're saying that he can't get onto his mission until he feels get into a life of integrity and living his truth where he is. And then once that happens, then he can get onto his mission. We were talking about my divine masculine. And so that's an issue. A lot of them, you say, well, what's happening with the divine masculine? Some of us, not all of you all, that you're awakened and you're watching this show, you know that you are already probably getting ready to go into your mission and purpose. But we're talking about these other ones that are in these karmic situations or third party energies. A lot of times, because they're not coming from a place of integrity, they can't get on their mission and purpose like they're supposed to, because of that, not living their truth. And that's another for them as well. Kathy D did bring up a very good point in saying that some of us, it is our thing for us to be able to work with our divine masculines too. We can support. A lot of our missions with our divine masculines are not the same. Just like I could tell with mine. Mine is in like the heaven and earth. Mine is spiritual. His is, I can tell you from my experience, his is physical. He's got to deal. He's got some ideas of things he wants to do about changing the world that way as far as violence. Mine is changing the mindset for in the spiritual world. So we can support, like we had a conversation today. We were sharing our accomplishments. He was saying, well, this is what I'm doing in the world. And I was like, and this is what I'm doing in the world. And so we can really kind of bounce off of those ideas. So it's not like I'm going in there and helping him doing what he's doing, but we're supporting each other that way by just encouraging and giving that energy exchange that way. Sometimes that might be a way in which that might happen between you and your divine masculine or your divine counterpart as well. So that's just another aspect that I just bring that to you, the table, when you're talking about the divine masculine and how that comes into the mix too as well. Is there anything else? Are we on our 1 hour? Did you want to do a meditation or anything that kind of will help us, or some activities, April?
Sure, I would love to do that. And I would love all of us to kind of work in our prayers too. What's beautiful about today is it's a new moon, it's a creation day. It's also a release day, right? So you release before you create. And wow, okay. So stuff that's coming out, it's the old paradigms of deflecting, of not looking at the self and realizing that the divine masculine is the mirror of us. And so when we want to know what our mission is as females, we go within and we set what Jupiter said, which I thought was really neat, was we are the thermostat, not the temperature.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we get to adjust what's going on within us and calm what's going on within us to be able to hear our voice. And when we stand in our integrity, our counterpart is allowed to stand in their integrity.
Mm-hmm.
And our energies do flip back and forth. So you might be out processing for them too. Right? We're taking on so much. So let's come together in a space where we can, one, pray for all of our clarity, to embody that clarity so that we can see and appreciate and love in the moment. What was really cool, I wanted to bring up your post earlier. I love that, by the way. Very cool concept of being able to release what doesn't serve us, and you find out where you're holding it in your body, because your body is key. Your body is key. So we're going to work in being in our bodies. So I want to do a little exercise where we are, one, we feel our bodies. Two, we see where the tension is and we release it. And then three, we fill it with what we want to fill it, because the moon's about to grow. We're planting seeds right now. We're planting ideas of consciousness, of love and self-love into our bodies. And then we can each come from different aspects of what kind of needs to be put into our bodies or what needs to be released. How about we do something like that? Does that sound good?
Sound good.
Okay, so everybody just get up for a second.
I got too many chords.
It's okay. You can do it sitting down. You can just wiggle if you got it. Okay. So I just want everybody to reach up high like a big star. Reach out your arms as far as you can. Raise your arms and legs, and then go like down into a little ball.
Oh, I know what you're doing. Oh, I got to move the chair. Twinkle, little star. Yeah, I know what you're doing. I have to do it this way to be able to maybe get a little bit more.
Okay. So we're crunching down,
coming in,
out, and then crunch down as small as you can. And then jump out again. We're gonna do this 3 times. Okay, tell me when you get to 3. You can sit back down when you get to 3. Your body should feel alive. You should start to feel some tingling.
I feel like
And fun too, right? You feel like a kid. It's
Yeah, I
fun.
felt like a kid. I did.
Okay.
Little kid.
Oof,
Yeah,
that felt
that's invigorating. I
I
feel
feel
that.
releasing in general. I almost don't even want to go into the dark spots. Okay, let's
Yeah,
take
that felt
this
good.
here.
I feel energized there. I could run a marathon. No, I was playing. I got to live with integrity. That was not, but I can run. I can run,
I could
You can
write.
run upstairs.
run upstairs. There you go. Now that's my truth. That's my integrity. I can live with on that one. Let me just real quick pull when we're talking about the mission. I really could. Nah, that'd be individual because those cards are kind of tricky. If I do the purpose one, okay, I'll just go to my go-to ones and let's talk about energy. Clear. Let's see. What does the powers that be or the source want us to deal with in order collectively that's watching right now? The energy that they want us to do. We had this before. And every time when I get this, I always throw it to April because I was like, what is this? This came for Earth Force.
Well, that's us embodying Earth. That's us embodying our femininity. That's us accepting who we are in this beautiful body that we're given in this time. And we're all made differently because we all reach different things, different experiences, different layers. And that's the beauty of us. So be thankful for your body. Be
Right.
thankful for the earth shell that you were given.
Yeah.
We
Because
had mentioned earlier that humanity does, or the earth doesn't need humanity. Humanity needs the earth. Well, the only reason humanity exists is because of the earth and the cosmos coming together, making that divine love and us, and millions of years of evolution.
so right now, the spirit is saying that I asked for a clarifier too on that one. And what you're on is right on point. They said they got to strategize. That goes back again to what I said. That's what I said about that mission and that mission statement for yourself. Threefold mission statement and vision for yourself. 1, 2, 3, just like a business plan, because you are like a business, like an organization in yourself. It says that. That kind of go back to what Kathy D, when I see this journal, it's about that journaling again. So they picked up Kathy D's energy as well. And then they got the compass. So that's going to help us to kind of know our way about some things and unlock some things as well. I talked about they have these scrolls. To me, that's again in the past. So to me, it's like looking to the past to see, also bringing it forward to live in the now to see what things do you need to change to create. You're in this again, like I said, that fork in the road. I talked about that earlier about that indecision, that fork in the road thing. So you've got to right now they bring it to me and they say this is a good time for you to be in the fork of the road because now you can look at it and say, you know what, I got options.
Yes, you do. Yes,
you got options. That's what they told me. They say stop looking at it negatively and say even this indecisiveness means that you have options. And that's good. Think about some people that may not have options. They got to only go one way. And so this is what you have to right now where you are. This red, anytime I see him with a hood on it, that means again somebody's not living in their truth. So again, something's deceptive. So again, that goes back to your integrity. Listen to, get grounded and rooted in something that you are honestly in your integrity, that you honestly feel this is the way. And then although you got options, this let your heart or what you're grounded and rooted as far as in what's living in your truth is going to lead you and tell you which way that you actually need to go into, because you know which way.
Like how they always say, "What do you wish for? What would you do with the world?" To Miss America, she's like, "I want world peace."
Right.
She really wants a hamburger she hasn't eaten all day. Like, be genuine, be real about what you want. It may sound nice and fluffy, but it may not actually be what you want. Okay.
Right. Right. That's honestly, that's really what I want right now, just to make a hamburger right now.
Actually, that's dinner tonight at my house, so come on over.
Honestly, that's what I want. That's honestly what I want. All right, so let's put our last closing. Did we handle everything that we said we were going to do? We talked about the twin. I want to make sure, because that's the teacher in me to want to make sure what we had on the comments. Not our thing, was private thing. To how it operates. Yeah, we handled everything. Okay, good. Guys, I just want to make sure that was our objective, that we handled everything. So we're putting in our, let's go, where is it at? Okay, ticker it. Okay, so as we're doing our last thoughts, what is it that you want, that some last thoughts? You can summarize it or whatever you want them to, the collective, to kind of walk away understanding what's mission.
Okay, I want to take like a minute to do a mini healing, because we didn't finish the whole cycle. We didn't finish the whole moon cycle thing. We did the energy work to get energy moving, but we need to see, notice. Just take a deep breath in, everybody.
Okay.
Where are you holding the tension? Take a deep breath and allow yourself to release it. It's okay. It's okay to let it out. It's okay to feel it. It's okay to let it rise up. Just allow that space to be empty now. Now, what do you want to create? What do you see in your future? What makes you feel good? What makes you want? What makes you feel comfortable? What makes you feel trusting and loving of this universe that you created, that you are part of, you're co-creating? And fill that space up with that. Take a deep breath, fill that space in, allow light to fill your entire being. Allow love to permeate your soul into each other's soul. And here we are, back to one. Okay, there we go. That was it. How you feeling?
Good. Tension right here, and
That
I
was where mine was.
sprout out like this, and just like open up and release, and it showed me like a golden fuchsia light with like a tree in the center of it, and then it got brighter and brighter when you're talking about it. And then you said for me filling space, and then I changed the scene, but that was what it was. That's what I seen.
Okay, great. That sounds really promising.
Right. Did I do that? Yes. Yeah, that was it on that one. So Kathy D, you have anything to add or last thoughts or things?
Well, I think right now, this time, especially with the moon in the portal, and from everything I've learned today, is really a time for us to, if you want to put it in different terms or whatever, but really as a divine feminine, because we always are giving, even if it's not our DM, we're very giving, we're very caring, very loving, very nurturing. This is a time really to be, for lack of better words, selfish. That this mission is ours.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't take you away, and it actually will make you a better mother, a better friend, a better sister, a better daughter, a better partner. You have to understand that we've got to get rid of that old paradigm of we're just there to, once we have children, we're there to, or, we have a family or a parent we're taking care of it, that's our job and that's all we do.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to get rid of that mask and really come into that and being one with ourselves is really, I think, what mission pulls us into doing. And I think that's a major part of mission. And don't ever be afraid to think big. Don't let those doubts creep in. If you want to write a book, write a book.
Let the doubt creep in, but find out where it's coming from, so you can close that door and fill it with light.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got it for a reason. Is it programming from society? Is it an old parental paradigm thing that you're working out? You know, you are healing you and the further generations, this next 7 generations, baby. It's all about you and how you show up for them. Because a wounded healer can't really heal, right? I mean, if you're fully encompassed with that, that's your spectrum. But if you've gotten past that and you're wounding, then you can be present with what's with and hear what they really need, what somebody else really cares for. So that's important to honor thyself.
Most definitely. And that goes back to what we said a couple of weeks ago about know thyself. You know, you've got to.
Oh, Jesus. Know thyself, that has pushed thyself too much off the ball.
The world, she beeth round the world. Then fall off. Know that. I like you said a few days ago, I'm like, wasn't that Plato? Socrates?
Oh, now I was playing. Okay, go
on. You know, that this is really our time to be selfish, but also to know I'd lost it and it came back.
Right.
That also know that if you hit resistance with this, people that are close to you or you feel are close to you, and you know, you kind of start feeling them drop off, those are the people that are also going to put up the biggest walls and the biggest maybe blockage to you going onto your mission, because they don't want you to exceed to a higher energetic level. And your DM is there saying, you know, I'm proud of you. You go, girl. And, you know, even if it's not in the 3D, you're getting it in the 5D. You're getting songs, you're getting signs, you're getting things from them when you are that far into mission to say, no, this is what I'm doing. And I'm sorry you don't like what I'm doing. I'm sorry you don't understand it. Call it whatever. But this is my mission. And when you can stand like that and stand firm for it, that's when you know you have found your true purpose and mission.
I want to take a little bit more of an empathetic approach. That everything else except for the they don't want you, it's not that they don't want you to reach that level. They desperately want you to reach that level, right? Because then they just don't know how to identify themselves anymore.
Right.
And they were using you as a reflection at a certain vibration to identify themselves. So when you changed and they don't know how to change or what steps to take, or sometimes change is so scary that they have a full-on meltdown, right? Because of some kind of childhood trauma or something else.
That's true.
Them. So if you can come at it from from the world but not of it kind of a thing, and know that they're coming at you because they don't know how to handle their change and reflection, just say that, and then we can go into but this is my mission, right? Love that part. I'm like, this is my mission. I can stand strong. So thank you, Kathy.
Right. Yeah.
Don't fall off the ball again.
Right. Yeah. Don't. Yeah. Don't do that. Yeah. So they do want to see you in the mission, and I even see that even with my DM, us going back and forth. And April brings us a very good point that sometimes you have to kind of show them how to do it. And they will kind of lead. It's not that they don't want to, they just don't know how to. And between him and I, we have kind of like a silent kind of competition between each other. So like when we were doing it, like, bam, this is what I did. And so he's like, okay, and so this is what I did. And I got a video on YouTube. Okay, and then I got a video on YouTube. And I'm like, okay, all right, where are we going with this? But, you know, it was cute because it was like, okay, I'm upping and you upping. Okay, so now we got to up in the same space. That's our next thing. But my thing is they need you to kind of show them the way. They don't know. They don't have people in their environment showing them that positive, like a different doing things that they probably have been saying, I want to do it, but I was a little scared to do it. And a lot of times that's kind of, again, like I said, that's our mission and purpose, to kind of show them also. In some ways, when you get to that, that's not your only to show them the light all the time, but it'll organically happen. You don't need to kind of do it from a standpoint that I gotta do this. It'll just organically happen between the both of you all. I think you all kind of beautifully had ended it or said what it was. I don't think I need to kind of put any extra onto what you all summarize as far as like the mission, just to make sure that you all just really understand the mission, like they had brought to me, it's a 3-layer, like April
Mm-hmm.
said. Clear cut is your mission with yourself. It's the mission with the world. It's your mission with your DM, the mission and vision. What are you seeing? Threefold things. Start from there. Start with yourself first. And don't feel bad if you don't know what your mission is at this time. Let it organically. They keep on bringing the word organically. Let it
Mm-hmm.
happen organically, not put the pressure on and see it, because sometimes you'll pick things and that's not. I had that conversation with Spirit this morning. I thought I was supposed to be going one way, and it was like, no, that's not really where we want you to go. And it's like, okay, so just be open and receptive.
And
What,
ask.
and
Ask. Don't
don't
be afraid to ask. They're waiting. There are angels waiting in the wings to answer your questions. Just ask.
and tell them, be real. I mean, really knock me over with the signs, those heavenly signs that you're doing. Sometimes you might not be able to recognize it. It's like, make it crystal clear for me, because
Without a shadow of a doubt.
it's like a shadow of a doubt. This is exactly what I want you to do. And when you see things in your mission and they line up one after another, people start appearing like Jubilee 1111. I got you. What you need, sis? Yap, yap, yap. Say, okay, well, wait a second. Maybe this is what I need to do. You got to say, I got this idea for this show. April Williams appears. Kathy D appears. Oh, okay, wait. Okay, and it's just going bam, 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 bam. Guess what? That's a sign. That's your mission and purpose. When it's just flowing like that, like with that ease, like effortless ease. And it just, that's when you hit that vein, you hit that spot that is saying, okay, now that's me and Source. We're working together and we're making it happen. And I've hit on something that they saying, we got you. We gave you divine authority on that. We gave you a stamp of approval to go on ahead and do that.
And that's a joy you cannot explain. Work with Source and work with the people that Source brought to your life to help you with that. There are no words to explain the joy of that.
It's not. Yes, April.
There's a couple of thoughts because I like what Jupiter was saying to Kathy D. Oh, for the love of Kathy D. But about her Taurian energy, we're talking about the moon and
we're pouring it on her.
Moon in Taurus is her day. It's her day.
My moon.
So it's okay to be successful. It's okay to feel good. Yeah. It's okay to be in love. There is no loss. There is only gain. It only gets better from here. Just trust yourself. Just trust yourself. It's great. This newness, this new feeling, it's wonderful. Just embrace yourself. Embrace how much better it's getting, because it really is getting better moment by moment, breath by breath.
It is. You can feel it once you start following as you're supposed to go. That is that as within, so without. It's you just follow.
On that note, let me hit this banner here. That's it. Sam came and pulled a cane on. All right, if you like what's happening, what's being thrown down here, I think Kathy D was great. I'm pulling the curtain. Now I'm pulling the cane now from what is that? Apollo Theater. Sandman is coming out. All right, so pineapplefishlifecoaching.com with Kathy D. You see all that cognitive behavior things, skills that she had brought in with us, helping you to understand step by step. I love her because she thinks giving you practical keys that you can use in your daily lives that can help you to elevate, to find your mission and purpose. So maybe you have your mission and purpose and you need to talk to somebody to say, how can I work this out that I can make this? I always say, because she bring it in her inner guys. She ready for her introduction now. Here we go. And we have our own Hawaiian goddess as well, made for this goldenlife.com. If you love the meditations that she brings, the energy work that she does with your body, how you can bring in, they're going to customer now, calling for you. April. Oh, second. Hello?
Talk about your manifestations.
That's the customer calling right now.
And if you call now for 1995,
Oh, the things I'll say to you.
And get out.
I believe in you.
Right, right.
And
There you
you
go.
too.
We got a live one already. They're calling in for already. All right, there for both Kathy and April Williams. So you want that good stuff that they're bringing. You seeing they're calling the hotline right now. As we speak. Right now to get to these two right now. That spirit. So you understand they're on their mission because they already got customers calling. And so we also, if you're interested with me or what I'm bringing in, especially with your channeling messages from spirit guides, either intuitive readings as well so as looking at past loved ones that I actually giving you advice to through my Sankofa Fast Forward services that I offer, and I do coaching as well. So if you like that also from that aspect, hit Divine Unisouls 11.co and you can book there. And I got other educational and other things. But also, let's not forget that also with us,
Yeah.
just collectively, all of us, they're calling already, people. You're kind of slow. I got already customers right now. I got them on hotline. I put them on hold, actually. That's what I'm get to them and get their order as soon as I'm off of this. So also the playground experience as well. We had first started off the playground experience for more so for like childhood wounds. However, since we're talking about mission, maybe you might want to deal with each one of us. Like maybe you might need a reading from me to kind of get you seeing where is your mission, where does it lie. You might also want to go to April Williams as well to see where's it housed, what's in you that's stopping you from getting that. How can you get that energy to flowing with your body to create that groundedness in your root chakra to be able to do that. And she can do chakra work and everything else too as well that maybe can clear some of that energy that's stopping you from being able to go into your mission and purpose. And then you also have Kathy D, which can also help you with the practical 1-2 steps that you can do in line and sequence in order to help you to be able to do that mission and purpose and journaling and those things. So all of us is totality package as well. Go to Divine Unisouls 11.co and we can do that. Although it might say on there, I have to update that about childhood, but we're our services plethora of other things. If it's mission, if it's just you want to get yourself together, say you right now, not the journey, if that's your main thing. So just hit us up too as well. And you have our services there for us all collectively. So that's another way of looking at it. So thank you again. Don't forget to please like and share and just subscribe to this channel. So we always once a week, we're featuring at least once a week subject that's happening in the twin flame journey. Get you off here. We've seen that. Bye-bye. And so then you can be able to get some more good information from us as well. So the more people that like it, the more they get to this. Because I've had even Divine Masters say, y'all got good stuff. I don't understand why they're not getting it, why it wasn't higher than what it should be. And I'm like, yeah, why isn't it? But my thing is again, we have to make sure the only way we can get this word out there, I sound like WTTW, the only way we get this word out there is if you click and like and you share this good information. So that's the only way we can do that. So again, Kathy, you came up with a sound out. What was the sound thing I told you that was good that you had there? That the end of the show. Do you remember?
Yeah. Always remember to live your best life. See you soon.
No. For the playground itself, it was a good send off. I forgot what it was. You did. And I said that was a good thing.
I don't remember. I was goofing around. I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, all right. We'll come up with it together because we got to work on that. Okay. So mine. So you start, Kathy. I'll do the end. Go on, Kathy D. Words again. I'm sorry.
Always remember to live your best life. See you soon.
Okay. And April.
Mine's stay blessed, stay golden.
All right. And then always with mine is stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascending. Namaste. Nama go.
Aloha.
Sweet. All right.